Hello students, welcome you all in the video of the new chapter, My Childhood. Before we proceed ahead, again we are going to discuss the title of the chapter, My Childhood. Whose childhood are we going to really discuss in this chapter? Have you ever known a scientist who has been a statesman? To whom do we call a statesman? A statesman is a person who is a leader of the state, who leads, people follow him. They are called the statesmen. Have you ever heard about any such person? We are going to discuss about the person who has been a greatest scientist and a statesman is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. From his book Wings of Fire, an incident of his childhood has been taken. It is an autobiography. Do you understand what is an autobiography? Autobiography means when a person itself explains something about his life, about the experiences which he had. That is called autobiography. So in the book Wings of Fire, these things have been extracted from the book. We are going to study about the incidences of his childhood. We know that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was the 11th president of our nation in 2002, his contribution has been great in the space, in the defense, in the other fields of science. We can never forget that. And so has been his simple life, which we all are aware of, that he was a very simple person, a down-to-earth person with a great personality. Let's start with the chapter. Here, the author himself is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So, since we are going to discuss his childhood, we will be taking his name as Kalam only, because we are going to talk about the little Kalam in this story. I was born into a middle class Tamil family. I led from Rameshwaram in the earliest Madras state. Now the Madras is called as Chennai, earlier it was called Madras. So he belongs to a very middle class Tamil family. His family was not that educated, his father was not very highly qualified the way Kalam himself was. He was a very simple person but had a very strong beliefs, right? What belief did he have? That he did not have much education, no more wealth. But despite of this, he had a great wisdom, a great generosity of mankind, of humanity. And this was one quality which Kalam was inhabited with. The father's name was Jalaluddin and the mother was an ideal partner to the father, whose name was Ashiyamma. In fact, she was one of the kind lady of the family, one of the greatest personality in Kalam's life, who crafted Kalam so beautifully. So he says, I cannot exactly remember the number of people had fed every day, but I can definitely tell that the number of outsiders, the strangers, were more than the total number of the family members. So here we can see that Ashiyamma, the mother of Kalam, was such a kind-hearted lady that she used to feed every single stranger who used to come to their place. There were so many family members, and apart from the family members, she was cooking and she was feeding the strangers as well. Ahead we see. So out of many children, Kalam was one of the children. He had 3 brothers and sisters, and he is explaining his physical description that he was born to a tall and very handsome parents. So here we have seen Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, that he is a very short-heighted person with a very ordinary features, not that attractive one. But since his activities, his work, his achievements have been so attractive, that physical feature has been never that matter of concern. And since he was as a child never gave that importance to his physical feature, but he is definitely explaining that out of the rest of the family members, he did not have that distinctive features. The family where everybody, the family lived in an ancestral house. Ancestral means which we get from a previous generation. So they lived in that pakka ancestral house, which was made up of bricks and limestones, and it was constructed on the Mosque Street of Rameshwaram. The auster's father, the auster means simple. The simple father used to avoid all the inessential comforts and luxury. So the father was very simple, and he made sure that his children also live with the same facilities and bring this quality in them, that they will be using only those things which are essential and important in their life. He was never in favor, and he never provided a luxurious and too comfort things to his children to spoil their habit. So they were provided with the all necessary things like food, medicine, education, clothes. In fact, he says that my childhood has been very secure emotionally and materially, that wealth wise, whenever I needed for my education, for my basic needs, I was provided, and I got so much of love and affection from my elders, from my parents, that emotionally I was having a very secure childhood. The further we see that there was a Second World War broken in 1939. He was just 8 years old, and at that time he recalls and says that I can never understand that why in this situation the need of tamarind seeds erupted so much. Erupted means increased so much. So what he used to do, he used to collect the seeds and sell it to the commercial shop, and for that he used to get so pricely amount which was too much for him, that it was 1 anna. So he used to earn that amount by collecting the seeds and selling it to the provision shop. Some time later on, his brother-in-law Jalaluddin would tell him stories about the war, that what is happening, since he was a little child of just 8-year-old. So he used to listen to the stories from his brother-in-law, and next day he used to read those stories as a headline in the newspaper coming at that time, named as Dina Mani. So Dina Mani is the name of the newspaper. His area was very isolated, very small, left out from the rest of the country. So it was unaffected. It was not that affected by the impact of the Second World War. But slowly, there was a situation of emergency arising in his area as well. And the first thing that came as the matter of casualty in the area was that no train will stop at the Rameshwaram station. So now that was a matter of concern for whom? For the cousin of Kalam. Since his cousin, whose name is Samsuddin, was selling a newspaper in the town, because the train used to stop at Rameshwaram road between Rameshwar and Dhanuskodi. So in between these two stations the train used to stop. But now, since the train will not be stopping, the newspaper cannot be collected. So it will be bundled and it will be thrown. Now who is going to catch? So the Samsuddin was really worried, and who filled that vacancy, who was ready to help Samsuddin, was Kalam. And this is the time when Kalam earned his first wage with the help of his cousin Samsuddin, because for catching each bundle he was being paid. Now there is a word called wages. Do you understand the difference between wages and salary? Anything which is paid on per day basis, we call that as wages, and anything which is paid after the month is called salary. So here, this is the first wage which Kalam had earned by helping his cousin Samsuddin. He recalls that half a century later, in fact after 50 years, he could still feel that pride He could still feel that satisfaction which he got after earning his first wage in his childhood. Isn't it? This is such a sweet incident which Mr. Kalam recalled and has shared. Further, we see every child is born with some inherited qualities from his parents. And here we would like to understand the qualities which he got inherited from his parents, the characteristics which he got from his parents, because when the child is growing up, the socio-economic and the emotional environment, it plays a very important role in the personality, in the mindset, in the upbringing of the child. So that socio-economic and emotional environment had a very positive impact. Plus, he had such a beautiful parents with such a lovely qualities which got inhibited in his personality as well. Let's see what he got from his father. He was inherited honesty, self-discipline from the father, and from mother he got faith in goodness and keep kindness, and so did his 3 brothers and sisters. As I told you before that he had 3 brothers and sisters, so each one of them, not just the Kalam, had the same belief, had the same quality in their personality which they received from the parents. Further, Kalam shares that he had 3 close friends. Let's understand what situation is going to come now, because the 3 friends were Hindu and Kalam was Muslim. Now this is little not convincing for an orthodox people to understand that how an Hindu and Muslim can be friends and such a close friends. So the 3 friends were Ramananda Shastri, Aravindan and Shiv Prakasham. In fact, I would like to tell you that all 3 of them were from the orthodox Hindu family. What is the meaning of orthodox? The one who has the traditional belief. Traditional belief means who is not ready to accept any change. Having a traditional belief is not bad, but not ready to accept the change and stick to something which may not be good for the society is considered as orthodox. So all 3 of them were from the orthodox Hindu family, but this was never affecting their friendship. And it being coming from a different religion, from this different community, from different society, their bonding was very strong. He shares further how they grew up. Ramananda Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, who was the highest priest in the Rameshwaram temple. In fact, later on, Ramananda Shastri took over the priesthood from his father and became the highest priest in the same temple. What did the other 2 friends do? Aravindan went into the business of arranging transport, who were visiting arranging transports for the pilgrimages who were visiting to the temple. And Shiv Prakashan became a catering contractor in the Southern Railways. So this is how his other friends went into a different profession and into a different business. During the annual Sri Sitaram Kalyanam, Kalyanam means wedding. We all are aware about the story of Ramayanas, that Lord Rama got married to a Sita. So there was a ceremony which was being celebrated annually every year. And let me tell you, being a Muslim family, Kalam's family used to take a lot of initiative. They used to put a lot of effort in arranging the boats for the Lord, so that the statue, the idol of the Lord, could be carried from the temple to the middle of the lake, which was called as Ramatirtha. Because the Kalyanam ceremony, that wedding ceremony of Lord Ram and Sita, was being arranged in the middle of the pond. So it was Kalam's family's responsibility. They always used to take that initiative for arranging the boat for everybody to reach to the middle of the pond. In events from Ramayana and the events from the life of the prophets, well, the bedtime story, this is such a beautiful thing that we can see over here, that the conservative people, I guess they just believe in one religion, they don't find every religion equal. But here the child Kalam his personality is getting drafted so beautifully by his mother and grandmother. Because what a beautiful bedtime stories it would have been if it contains the events from Ramayana and the life of the prophets. So the child was growing up by knowing the importance of Ramayana, and the child was growing up by knowing the importance of the life of prophet. That was the thing happening in the Kalam's life. That was their favorite bedtime stories, and that was being not just told to him but to every child of his family. We are concluding the first video over here. The rest of the chapter you can listen into the next video. Thank you.